Hi, I'm Hannah Ledvarg in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I grew up in the 70s and 80s in Austin. It was a really different city. If you've been there now, you'll understand that it's very large and it pretty much hasn't stopped growing for about the past 30 years. So, anyway, it was a really pretty cool place to grow up. I was a pretty good student and interested in a lot of different things. And I think that between high school and college, that may have been the most important thing that has actually applied to every job I've done is being curious about stuff. I do love to read and I like to write and I was good at all that kind of thing, but you don't have to be great at something to be curious about it and to work on it and get better and just kind of explore the things you're curious about. Advanced placement English and just sort of like honors math and science stuff, which doesn't really apply to real estate. But I have to say that the more confident you are in your ability to use language and do like basic arithmetic and pretty competently and a lot of like basic skills, like the better you're going to be certainly at something like real estate. And it translates into having better business skills later. People in my line of work are looking to me for advice and consultation, and they expect me to know my stuff when it comes to the real estate market, what kinds of decisions, what they might be putting on the line when they're making the biggest financial decision of their life potentially. So just being able to both be confident in kind of my own thoughts, but also separate out like my knowledge and wisdom about what I'm doing, but to also be able to take a big step back and imagine being in their shoes. A lot of the time people can be really emotional when they're dealing with buying and selling a house. It can be the most stressful time of their lives. And it actually really comforts people to feel heard and also to be told. Most people feel stressed out when they're in this situation, and usually things work out well. And right now I know these facts about what's going on with your transaction, and I don't have any personal reason to worry about it because I see things go wrong and right, and I see yours going right. So being able to just hear them and give them some non-emotional facts about where they are can be really reassuring. So if you want to sell real estate, no matter what state you live in, you do have to have a state license. We are regulated by every state. It's a very heavily regulated industry. And while we're not a profession technically, like teaching medicine or being an attorney, we're very much like a professional profession, like a profession, if you go into this, with regard to how heavily we're regulated. And we have a very, very powerful National Association of Realtors, which is our professional organization that is not related to state licensing, but we have a code of ethics. We all get together in each of our cities, and it is pretty serious stuff. But so to get licensed, you have to take prescribed classes. There are three portions to it. And then you have to take a state license exam. You can pay for additional preparation for that and so on and so forth. And so there are a few fees involved, some testing involved, and then you have to maintain your license by continuing to take education classes every year and renewing your license every 3 years. So heavily regulated, but it's not that hard to get into. Typical day at work, it's pretty variable. It's one thing I like about real estate because there are sort of workflows that go up and down during the course of a transaction, or when I'm working like with a buyer, there will be a period of time where we're not in a purchase agreement contract state, where I'm taking them to see houses, orienting them with the kind of legal forms we're going to be preparing, getting to understand their wants and needs and everything. And then there's different parts of the contract depending on who you're working with. And when I've got listings, I need to go get photography done. So I map out each of my weeks according to what's coming up. During some of it, there will be boots on the ground work during some of it, whether that's getting a sign up, meeting with people, meeting with your sellers to go over stuff they need to do on a house, or taking a buyer out on a tour to see 4 or 5 houses in an afternoon or something. And the desk work can include writing the contracts, writing an offer to send, all that kind of thing. Computer skills are good to have, even just baseline understanding how to use forms that are electronic and they're electronically signed and stuff, and you fill them in. My favorite part of my job is probably just when you getting people over the finish line. It really is the personal connection. So getting them into the right house or getting their house sold. Love being able to help them deal with can be a dumb and complicated period of paperwork, and the state may be involved and this, that, and the other. And I know what to do, and it's not a big deal, and I can take a lot of worry off of their plate. And they don't have to have drama, and they can go through several weeks, be out the other side, be relieved. And I love to be able to help people that way. If you are someone who likes to do a lot of things, say do deep dives into the stuff you're interested in, get some credentials, and don't rush things. You can always plan for the next thing. Like if you think, I may want to start doing something different, you can take your time to take steps. Always make sure that you're going to be financially secure when you move so that you don't feel like you're insecure if you have to make a career change, or if you want to make a career change, that it doesn't end up feeling like, oh, I've made a huge mistake just because you did it too fast, because it may really be the right thing to do, or it might not be the right thing to do. And by doing a little research, taking your temperature, learning the things you need to learn, you'll be able to figure out, is this something I should really move forward with? If yes, how do I do it? Start putting one foot in front of the other, and you get there.